Pluto, the ninth planet demoted, and the unexpected scientific secrets. Imagine one day, Earth, the planet we live on, suddenly is no longer considered a planet. This might sound absurd, but it's exactly what happened to Pluto in 2006. Once the ninth planet of the solar system, Pluto was demoted, removed from textbooks, and its very value questioned. But was this the right decision for science? Or are we losing a piece of humanity's memory? Let's explore the turbulent journey of Pluto, a small planet that shook the entire astronomical world. The story began in 1930 when Clyde Tombaugh, a young American astronomer, discovered the celestial body at the Lowell Observatory in Arizona. For that era, discovering a new planet was a rare feat, and Pluto was quickly celebrated as a significant achievement in the history of astronomy. Pluto was named after the Roman god of the underworld, a fitting title for such a mysterious planet. With its orbit the farthest from the other planets, Pluto appeared as a solitary nomad, carrying secrets yet to be unveiled. For decades, Pluto held its position as the ninth planet in the solar system, drawn in textbooks and envisioned in the imaginations of millions of children worldwide. But its destiny was far from tranquil. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union (IAU) held a critical conference in Prague, Czech Republic. Here, scientists made a decision that fundamentally altered how we perceive the solar system. A new definition of a planet was announced, with three main criteria. The celestial body must orbit the Sun, have a nearly round shape due to its gravity, and clear its orbital zone of other debris. Pluto met the first two criteria, but the third one disqualified it from being a primary planet. Pluto's orbit not only intersects Neptune's, but also shares space with numerous other objects in the Kuiper Belt. This, under the new definition, relegated Pluto to the status of a dwarf planet. For many, this decision was a monumental shock. How could a planet that had existed in our collective consciousness for over 75 years be dismissed so easily? Textbooks had to be rewritten, solar system maps revised, and children who once adored Pluto felt a sense of loss. Yet, from a scientific perspective, the change was deemed necessary. Astronomers argued that without strict criteria, hundreds, perhaps thousands, of other objects in the Kuiper Belt would also need to be classified as planets. This would not only complicate classification systems but also hinder research and education. However, not everyone agreed with the new definition. Alan Stern, a leading scientist of the New Horizons mission, vehemently criticized the criteria. He argued that the third criterion was unreasonable and did not reflect the true nature of planets. Stern pointed out that even Earth, the planet we live on, cannot fully clear its orbital path. Thousands of asteroids and small objects exist along Earth's orbit. Therefore, Stern deemed the criterion impractical and arbitrary. Conversely, Mike Brown, the astronomer who discovered Eris, a celestial body nearly as large as Pluto, supported the IAU's decision. He believed science requires clarity and consistency. If Pluto remained a planet, then Eris and many other objects in the Kuiper Belt would also need recognition. This would lead to a solar system with hundreds of planets, rendering the classification meaningless. Brown famously remarked, "We cannot call everything a planet based on emotion. Science must rest on the foundation of reason." Agree or disagree, the redefinition of a planet ignited a widespread debate among scientists and the public. It was not merely about classification, but also a reflection of how we approach knowledge. Science is ever evolving, and sometimes, to gain a deeper understanding of the universe, we must let go of old beliefs. Pluto's journey from a primary planet to a dwarf planet demonstrated that science is not always easily accepted. Yet, this change does not diminish Pluto's value. On the contrary, it highlights Pluto's role as a symbol of unrelenting exploration. In the hearts of millions, Pluto remains the ninth planet of the solar system, a small yet profoundly significant celestial body in humanity's quest to conquer the cosmos. When Pluto was removed from the list of planets, no one could have anticipated that this decision would spark a debate lasting years. For scientists, this was more than a matter of classification. It was a clash between logic and emotion, between scientific accuracy and the sentimental value Pluto had carried. But for the public, the story took on a different hue. Pluto was not just a celestial body. It was part of their childhood, a planet they had grown familiar with and cherished. Critics of the International Astronomical Union's IAU decision were quick to voice their objections. Alan Stern, head of the New Horizons mission, did not hesitate to criticize the new definition of a planet. He argued that the criterion requiring a celestial body to clear its orbit was overly rigid and unrealistic. In the solar system, few objects could fully meet this condition. Even large planets like Jupiter or Saturn do not completely clear their orbits. Trojan asteroids still accompany Jupiter, and the icy rings of Saturn are evidence that orbits are never entirely empty. Stern called the new definition unscientific and subjective. To him, Pluto was more than a planet. It was a symbol of what science had achieved in the 20th century. Other scientists supported Stern's stance. They believed that demoting Pluto was not only a classification mistake but also eroded public trust in science. For decades, Pluto had been taught in schools as part of the solar system. Suddenly changing the definition created confusion, not just for children but for adults as well. One educator remarked, "We had to explain to students that Pluto was no longer a planet, and that was really difficult. They couldn't understand how a planet could just disappear because of a scientific decision." Conversely, proponents of the new definition argued that the change was necessary. Mike Brown, who discovered Eris, became the face of the pro-redefinition camp. For him, retaining Pluto as a planet would complicate everything. Eris, Makemake, Haumea, and numerous other celestial objects in the Kuiper Belt are similar in size or slightly smaller than Pluto. If Pluto were still recognized as a planet, all these objects would have to be recognized as planets too. This would not only overcrowd the solar system, but also dilute the meaning of the term planet. Brown famously stated, "Science cannot rely on emotion. We need clear criteria to better understand the universe." A key aspect of this debate was the difference in how science was perceived. For some scientists, Pluto was a symbol, a part of the history of space exploration, and redefining it should not diminish this emotional value. But for others, science was not a place for sentimentality or nostalgia. They believed science must be based on data and logical reasoning, even if that meant breaking with old concepts. This debate extended beyond the scientific community, capturing public attention. Campaigns to reinstate Pluto as a planet quickly emerged. From social media posts to online petitions with slogans like, "Bring Pluto back." Pluto enthusiasts expressed disappointment and anger at the IAU's decision. They felt that Pluto, with its long history and special place in humanity's heart, deserved to remain a planet. However, public outcry could not change the fact that science is always evolving. Scientists often say that one of the most important aspects of science is its ability to self-correct. The new definition of a planet was not a demotion of Pluto, but a step forward in clarifying how we understand the universe. Instead of focusing solely on primary planets, the solar system is now seen as a much more diverse and complex system, with categories ranging from planets and dwarf planets to asteroids and Kuiper Belt objects. The debate over Pluto also raises a larger question. Should science prioritize emotion over reason? For many, Pluto is not just a celestial body but a symbol of the universe's wonders. But for science, facts matter more than feelings. Alan Stern once stated, "Pluto is a planet, no matter what anyone says." But Mike Brown, with a more pragmatic view, countered, "Pluto has been, is, and always will be part of the solar system, but that doesn't mean it has to be a planet." Pluto's story has become a symbol of the conflict between tradition and modernity, between emotion and reason, between how humanity perceives the universe and how science forces us to confront uncomfortable truths. Regardless of which side one takes, it is undeniable that Pluto has changed the way we view space, not just as a realm for exploration, but as an intrinsic part of humanity's identity. The change in the definition of planets not only affected Pluto's fate, but also sparked a broader debate on the classification of other celestial bodies within the solar system. In truth, Pluto's story is just one part of a larger narrative, where science continually strives to organize, systematize, and better understand the universe we inhabit. To grasp this fully, we must turn back time to the era when planets were first categorized and how this process has evolved over centuries. Before Pluto's demotion, there were similar cases where celestial bodies, once recognized as planets, were later reclassified. A prominent example is Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Discovered in 1801 by Italian astronomer Giuseppe Piazzi, Ceres was initially considered a planet. With its significant size and distinct orbit, Ceres quickly took a central role in the astronomy of its time. However, just decades later, the discovery of other objects like Pallas, Vesta, and Juno in the same region led scientists to realize that Ceres was not an exception. Instead, it was one of many similar objects scattered across what is now known as the asteroid belt. Ceres was soon demoted from a planet to an asteroid, a term newly coined to describe smaller celestial bodies orbiting the Sun but not meeting the criteria to be planets. This reclassification, though controversial at the time, marked an important step in systematizing knowledge about the solar system. Like Pluto, Ceres' story demonstrates that science is ever-changing and improving. Even though it is no longer called a planet, Ceres remains a critical object of study, particularly in the search for signs of life within the solar system. Images from NASA's Dawn spacecraft revealed a surface rich in ice and the possibility of an underground ocean, offering exciting prospects for future research. The story of Eris, discovered in 2005 and indirectly responsible for the redefinition of planets, is another milestone in astronomical history. With a size comparable to or larger than Pluto, Eris immediately raised the question: if Pluto was considered a planet, why wasn't Eris? This question forced the International Astronomical Union (IAU) to establish a new definition to ensure consistency in classification. Yet, Eris was not alone. Objects like Makemake, Haumea, and Sedna also joined the ranks of dwarf planets, adding a new layer to the structure of the solar system as we knew it. The emergence of dwarf planets has not only changed how we perceive the solar system, but has also introduced a new perspective on its structure. Instead of a simple system of 8 or 9 planets, today's solar system is seen as a complex network of celestial objects, including planets, dwarf planets, asteroids, and Kuiper Belt objects. Each category plays a vital role in helping us understand the origins and evolution of the solar system. The new definition of planets clarified classification but also pushed scientists to explore the most distant regions of the solar system. The Kuiper Belt, home to Pluto, Eris, and other dwarf planets, has been likened to a treasure trove of information about the early solar system. Objects in this region are remnants from the formation period, untouched by melting or significant changes, and thus hold valuable clues about the universe's history. Interestingly, despite its demotion, Pluto continues to play a crucial role in shaping our understanding of dwarf planets. The New Horizons spacecraft's 2015 mission provided the first close-up images of Pluto's surface, revealing a world of complexity and surprises. Icy mountain ranges, vast plains, and the heart-shaped glacier known as Sputnik Planitia demonstrated that, even without its planetary status, Pluto remains one of the most fascinating and research-worthy objects in the solar system. However, the story of Pluto and the dwarf planets raises a larger question. Have we truly understood the structure of the solar system? The discovery of more objects in the Kuiper Belt and beyond suggests we may have only scratched the surface of the secrets the universe holds. One day, current definitions and classifications may need to change again to accommodate new discoveries. The stories of Pluto, Ceres, and other dwarf planets are not just examples of changes in science but also testaments to humanity's relentless spirit of exploration. They show that, even when our current understanding becomes obsolete, every small step brings us closer to understanding the universe and our place within it. Whether demoted or redefined, Pluto and other dwarf planets remain symbols of the boundless pursuit of knowledge, opening new and unexpected horizons in humanity's quest to explore the cosmos. Even over a decade after Pluto's demotion, the story of this small celestial body remains vivid in the imagination and emotions of humanity. More than just a distant object in the solar system, Pluto has become a symbol of resilience, overcoming adversity, and, above all, how we emotionally connect with the vast universe. Pluto has long held a special allure. As the ninth planet in textbooks, it evoked the image of a small, icy, and solitary world on the edge of the solar system. Its remoteness and uniqueness paradoxically made it feel closer to us. In the minds of many, Pluto was more than a distant icy mass. It was a part of childhood dreams of space exploration, from classroom solar system models to science fiction movies. Pluto stood as a testament to humanity's unending drive to push the boundaries of knowledge. When Pluto was officially demoted in 2006, many felt betrayed. A part of their memories, a part of their childhood that grew up with the image of Pluto, was suddenly erased. Online campaigns quickly emerged, calling for Pluto to be reinstated as a planet. Slogans like "Pluto Forever" and "Bring Pluto Back" flooded forums and social media. Songs, poems, and even documentaries were created to express love for this small celestial body. Pluto seemed to have transcended its status as a scientific entity to become a cultural icon, something people wanted to protect not just for scientific reasons but for deep emotional value. These emotions were reignited in 2015 when NASA's New Horizons probe reached Pluto after nearly a decade-long journey. For the first time, humanity could witness Pluto's surface up close. The first images sent back to Earth ignited a global emotional wave. A world once only seen as faint specks through telescopes now appeared with breathtaking detail. Towering ice mountains, vast plains, and, most notably, a heart-shaped icy region named Sputnik Planitia. This heart seemed to remind us that, despite its demotion, Pluto still held an irreplaceable spot in the hearts of humanity. The images from New Horizons were not just stunning but also revealed surprising findings. Pluto's surface, far from being barren and aged as scientists had assumed, was remarkably young, showing signs of ongoing geological activity. Towering ice mountains and plains devoid of craters indicated that Pluto was not a static world. It was dynamic, with much still to be understood. These discoveries not only transformed our view of Pluto but also raised new questions about how icy celestial bodies like Pluto evolve within the solar system. In many ways, Pluto has become a reflection of humanity itself. Small and fragile compared to giants like Jupiter or Saturn, Pluto still maintains its place in the solar system. Much like humanity, insignificant in the grand cosmic scale yet ceaselessly searching for meaning and significance. Pluto's journey mirrors our own, sometimes underestimated, sometimes faced with unwelcome change, yet always resilient and full of potential. Pluto also raises an essential question. Can science ever completely separate itself from emotion? Scientists had valid reasons for demoting Pluto, but this did not prevent people from feeling a strong attachment to it. For some, Pluto is like an old friend, an integral part of collective memory. Even as scientific definitions change, their affection for Pluto remains steadfast. This offers a crucial lesson. Science is not just about dry numbers and data. It is also about how we connect to the world and find meaning in what we discover. The story of Pluto reminds us that naming or classifying a celestial body does not diminish its value. Though no longer called a planet, Pluto continues to play a vital role in expanding our understanding of the solar system. Missions like New Horizons have proven that the value of a celestial object lies not in its label but in what it can teach us. Pluto, with its icy heart on its surface, is not just a dwarf planet on the edge of the solar system. It symbolizes the unknown, the mysteries yet to be uncovered. and humanity's relentless desire to better understand its place in the cosmos. No matter what title it holds, Pluto remains a testament to pushing the boundaries of understanding and an endless source of inspiration for those who dream of exploration. In the minds of humanity, Pluto will forever be the ninth planet, a symbol of the beauty and wonder of the universe. Pluto, with its icy yet vibrant heart, is more than just a celestial body on the edge of the solar system. It stands as a symbol of resilience and humanity's unrelenting spirit of exploration. Yet the question remains, was Pluto's demotion a scientific advancement, or have we overlooked something more significant? What do you think? Should Pluto be reinstated as the ninth planet? Share your thoughts in the comments, because Pluto's story has never been solely about science.